Good evening, Professor Shrek. I'm over here on the west coast of the United States of America. I'm over in LAX airport waiting to get my flight back to Florida. But anyways, we're doing a tribute speech and I want to jump right into it. So I believe personally everyone has that one specific person in their life that's influenced their life the most, has made the biggest impact in their life. Whether it be a parent, friend, coworker, whatever the business may be, that person for me actually is my mother. And my mother's the person that may cause me the biggest frustration in my life at sometimes, but make me feel warm at the same time coming back home or wherever I'm going. But the main reason my mother has had the biggest influence in my life is because of the way she has a great attitude towards everything that comes her way in life. Now, she may not have that great attitude towards me when I'm being bad, but she has that great attitude towards life and everything that comes her way. So today I'd like to pay tribute to my mother by explaining why she's so special to me. So jumping into point one, my first point about my mother is that my mother was a tough girl before I was born. My mother actually grew up in New York, Bronx, Southern Boulevard, to two Puerto Rican parents, and at the young age of 25, she decided to get married to my father. And they got married, had 2 kids at the time, and they moved to Brooklyn. And my mother was working in Manhattan at the time, so in the morning she would always drop off my 2 sisters at my parents' house in the Bronx, head over to Manhattan to go to work, and do the same routine at night to go pick them up. So, like I said, and I didn't say that before, but she didn't have a car. This was all through subway, bus, public transportation, all that good stuff. And I just find that such a strong, encouraging point to me, just to see that she wanted the best for her kids at the time, to do whatever it takes to get them to and from, without even with caring, but with putting her best interests first for her kids. So after she had had her 2 kids in New York, and she eventually got laid off at her job at the time in Manhattan, she moved down to Florida, where I was born, with my parents and my father. So around 2002, 2003, my parents actually became separated. And my mom was looking for a job at the time where she had the small qualifications, but my parents separated. And so my dad was living in one place, my mom was living at the other place. And my grandparents would take care of us. So throughout this time, my mom continued to go out looking for a job, where she eventually secured a secure job at American Express, where that would be a permanent job for about 20 plus years. But throughout that time, she always found time to take care of us when my grandparents weren't taking care of us, whether it be on the weekends, whether it be spending time with us doing our homework after school when she would come home. My mom always found that time to put a little bit of herself into our lives, whether we noticed it or not. Through this time also, she didn't have her own place. We were living with our grandparents at the time, so it was a little bit harder for them to take care of us since they were getting older. They were a little bit older folks, which they had passed on now. But it wasn't always easy for her to do this, and for her to leave us with them, because she felt bad that she wasn't raising her own kids. But eventually, my parents they reconciled, got back together, and we moved into a house together in 2007. And from then, my mother just showed no remorse of what she had done. She didn't need to. She provided the utmost she could have for us at the time. She put food on our plates every night, clothes on our backs, washed our clothes, everything. But it wasn't until about 10 years forward, well, to today's age, where we experienced the most hard timing for her, where she actually got laid off her job of 20 plus years, actually last week. Through the time of her getting laid off, it was unsuspecting. I would never thought in a million years that my mother would have been laid off from her 20 plus year job, but she did get laid off. And to me, I was mad, and to any other person, they would want to seek revenge on that job, quit the job, not show up to work anymore. But for my mother, that wasn't the case. She continues to go to work until her time is up there, does it to her fullest extent and maybe even more. And she's given she gave it the same effort and more that she has been doing for the past 20 years. And that recently stuck into my mind the most because it was the most recent, and that was her job of 20 plus years. And if that were me and they're letting me go out of nowhere, I would have been gone. I would have said, you know what, this is not for me. This is not my job anymore. Why am I doing this work? But wrapping up, my mother has been the biggest influence in my life because of the fact of her go get it attitude and do whatever it has to take to provide for her kids, provide for her family. When I look at someone that I want to be when I get older, it's my mother because of her go-willing attitude of get whatever it takes and no matter what cost, and be happy with the little that you have or big that you have, because this life is short. That's the type of person I want to be when I get older. My mother played a big role in raising the young man I am today, and without her, I wouldn't know the type of person I would be. So, thank you.